JR, I have one final question for you. Will you miss me?
Maybe a little.
I got that dish. Got that. I got that dish. Dish. I got that dish. I got that dish. That dish.
Hey, y'all. It's Onika.
And it's your girl B.
And JR.
And you are dishing with Dainty Dish. Oh, my gosh. I'm about to get emotional, guys.
Oh, no.
It's happening.
Dum, dum, dum.
It's time for some changes, some transitions. This is JR's final episode, his farewell to arms. Oh my gosh. It's been a long journey. Let's take a moment. Let's take a moment. 2 years.
Yeah, we're at 101.
We're at 101 episodes or 99? What is it?
Oh, this is 90.
This is 99. This is 99.
Oh.
It's 99. Sorry, it's 99.
99 problems.
101, but you've let me out of my contract.
Ooh.
Oh. Let the world know. Let the world know.
Well, I might have got a couple tricks up my sleeve, so you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
When the real person that runs things calls in sick on show day, you get to, like, you know, get a couple days off. So.
Oh, my gosh.
Oh, Lord. So,
You even asked me how I was doing it.
how are you doing?
I'm doing well. I'm excited about, like, what's up next for me. I'm excited for you. What's up next for you? I'm excited about everything. You know, our original thing was to do 2 years together. You know, actually, our original thing was I wanted you to do this with your sister. I'll put it out there.
Okay.
But no,
Facts.
I told you from the beginning. I'm like, I think this would be a better fit. But we stood it together because your sister was, you know,
Unavailable.
Yes.
Good for us, however you want.
Whatever. Tell it how you want to tell it. Tell the truth. Like, I'm not going to deny the truth.
I'm not gonna tell my truth. I'm just gonna tell a story. Okay?
It's not a story if it's the truth.
But I'm not telling the truth. I'm telling a story. So,
Go on.
yeah.
Tell your story.
So the story is you were just like you were useless and you weren't available.
Oh, so how do you want someone that's useless to come on your show? Okay, but
Exactly.
continue.
First of all, it's my show.
Oh.
Let's get one thing straight here.
Corrected.
It's the Dainty Dish podcast. Okay.
Okay.
Both of your names are dainty. So what do you say?
I just want there's no confusion.
It's okay,
my
sir.
show.
It's all right. Carry on with your story. Let the world know.
Anyway, so it's been good. I'm good. It's been a great journey. We're here now. We're doing a little handoff. And, it's good.
We're passing the baton.
Yes.
But before we do, JR,
Yes.
I have a few questions for you.
Is that what this podcast is about? Asking questions.
I want to get your
Is
insight.
it a feedback episode?
It's a feedback episode. It's like an exit interview.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
We're doing an exit
We're
interview.
doing a mental health exit interview.
A mental health exit interview on
After
JR.
spending 2 years with you.
Let's see what you've learned.
We're checking on my mental health.
Yeah, now.
Not seeing my mental health. We're checking on what I've learned and how I've progressed as someone who was pretty ignorant on the subject. I can be honest.
Yay. That's good.
Good.
Like, I mean,
Good.
outside of like dealing with you and being like, that's my crazy cousin. No, she's bipolar. I don't. Let's just not mess with her right now. To like having cool conversations with, experts, people with lived experience. People in the healthcare industry. I mean, this has been a great journey. You've exposed me to like a lot, which is really pretty cool. If anyone doesn't know, they should probably go back and take a listen to some of the episodes because I mean, I was pretty ignorant, pretty green.
Yes.
With regards to my sensitivity level on when it comes to mental health, I'm okay with I like growth, so I'm okay about talking about change and my growth and my I guess becoming.
You're becoming.
I'm becoming.
Okay, Michelle Obama. Okay, Michelle Obama.
You know what's funny?
We're both reading the same book right now.
The thing is, I told you to read it like 4 months ago when I first got it. It's one of the hardest books for me to get through.
It's because it's so like female empowering. Like,
well, it's not that you're making me seem like some kind of like misogynist pig, right?
Yeah, like
no, it's just it is female empowering. It's just not the type of book I normally read.
Mm-hmm.
So it's been quite tough. But I did get the audiobook. Today's what, the second? Yeah. So I did get the audiobook. So I'm gonna go through it now. I think it's like 12 hours or something like that. So I'm gonna get through that in the next couple days. Bad. Yeah, she's actually reading it herself.
Oh, that's nice.
Pretty cool. It's like her telling me a story, so that's kind of nice.
That's nice.
So I'm gonna finish it. But yeah, I'm like, I might be coming. But anyway, what are your questions?
Question number 1: what will you miss the most about the podcast?
The editing, and the getting it online, like the process of getting everything, the final products, like what everyone sees in the podcast app, like what they see, like me getting it to that point, like it's kind of like when I was cooking, where obviously you're cleaning everything, but people see a finished plate. You want to show them the best plate, but they're not seeing all the scraps that get wasted in order to make that plate. So like the process of getting rid of all the scraps and making everything look presentable for the, I guess, the platforms. That's the part I'm going to miss.
Okay.
Yeah, not necessarily talking to you.
Oh.
That's where you were going. You were fishing, and I was like, nah.
I wasn't even fishing. I genuinely wanted to know what was the, thing that you'd miss about the podcast the most. What have you learned about mental health that you didn't know before?
There's no face to mental health.
Do you want to elaborate on that?
You don't know what anyone's going through just by their appearance. We've had countless guests in my home where we were recording, that have openly spoken about mental health episodes and experiences that had someone told me in a bar, 3 years ago, I probably would have all right, have yourself a good night, But these people, I've actually run into some of the guests out in the city on subway platforms, just running and just said, hey, what's up? And even up until recently, one of our guests actually saw me on the platform, came up to me and said, hey, I'm acknowledging you, I see you, but I'm having a bad day right now. I'm having a moment where I'm not in a good situation. This is a true story. And I said, oh, okay, no problem. We said hello. We exchanged our hellos, and then the former guest went off and went about their day. I didn't tell you about this, but this actually happened maybe last week. I was on the subway.
Okay.
It was really cool. So I mean, I guess just saying that there's no you don't really know people are going through this. When I say there's no face to mental health, I understand that you were in the FACES program of mental health, but
you're more aware.
But I'm more aware that there actually is no face to mental health, because the whole purpose of that program, I think, under the underlying, I guess, message is that you can't tell. There's no way of knowing. And you have to be willing to say that, who knows? Anyone could be going through a condition, a situation, an episode, and, there's no real, you just have to be, we just need to be kind. I've taken that away. There's some people in my life now that I've surrounded myself with just kind people, and just be kind in general to people, and, be compassionate, I think, yeah. So anyway, what's your next question?
What made you decide to move away from the podcast, leave the podcast? What was that decision like for you?
Making the decision, or what?
What made you make that
decision? Because if we're being technical, you did, release him from his contract.
No.
You did release him from his contract.
No. 6 months.
Not in that way.
6 months ago, I did actually go to Onika and I said, hey, I think we need to start going
different direction.
Well, for me, it was because when we started this, I'm passionate about podcasts and audio and all that side. I'm passionate about that. Like, I love it. So working with you was something, and I had the opportunity in my journey to this point. I had the opportunity to work with some skilled people in my life that have actually studied radio, have worked at some of the major radio stations in the city, people that are professional voiceover actors and actresses. Like, I've worked with them, and they've kind of like provided.
I want to be like name drop.
No. Have provided insight to me, and so they provided me information, and I've just kind of shared that with you. And I got to the point where I'm like, you know what, everything that I know, I've given to you. You have. So it's no longer, and I felt that the conversations that we were having weren't really going anywhere. I felt that it was just two of us just bickering about nonsense, as opposed to providing the audience some insight on the mental health community. And it got to a point where, like, at first it was a journey where, okay, I'm learning, so it's kind of, I get to ask questions, and we're meeting with different professionals and guests, and I get to kind of ask them questions. But it got to a point where I'm like, okay, I've asked all the questions that I can think of. As someone who's trying to at least just understand a baseline of this, and without taking the next step in my private life to really dive into studying the different disorders and disorders, right?
Disorders. Yeah, that episode.
Yeah, we did. I'm still just
syndromes.
Like,
Illnesses.
Unless I take the next step to really understand that level, I think I've gotten to where the value that I can provide, I think, is done. I can't really.
You
provide.
Filled your knowledge.
I filled my knowledge, and I filled the journey of, helping Onika get to where she's comfortable. Like, because when we started, we had a conversation where you didn't feel that you were comfortable enough doing something like this on your own, right? So I was like, hey, I've been doing this for a little while with like college radio and stuff like that. I've got some little insight. Hey, let's give it a try and do it together. We'll vibe off each other. We'll figure it out. And it's gotten to a point where, like, I don't provide value. I felt like that. And also in my outside life, I'm working a lot. Like, between I took on a full-time job and I'm still running my own business, so I'm still doing both. So that's taking up a lot of my time.
Amen.
And I've got some few goals that I'd like to accomplish.
As you should.
And I felt that I was starting to... I didn't want to start resenting this. I wasn't, but I didn't want to start.
Yeah.
And I wanted to leave it on a high note so that...
It's
like
still
Seinfeld.
your baby.
Yeah.
It's still part of you.
It's still just like this. Like, come on, this is my baby, right?
First 100 episodes.
Right? So, like, I still want to be a part of it.
Mm-hmm, of course.
So at least if I leave and I'm not disgruntled, it's like, hey, if anytime, one of you can't make it, you need to guess, like, I'm around, you're around, we're all like, it's not like we all have each other's numbers, right? We're a family, right? So, right?
I got my sister, cousin, and me.
So I don't know, it was pretty cool. I could always step in for that, and it's like we've kind of like cross trained each other in all the different areas of this.
Listen, he said cross train like I've been doing this for a long time. I just stepped on.
Yeah, but you did it on your own. I didn't. Did I touch anything? No.
You did it.
Yeah,
You did good, kid.
You did good. You did good, kid.
So yeah, that was just like, I just got to the point where I'm ready.
We're all ready. We're all ready. All right, happiest moment on the show. Happiest moment.
Every moment with a B.
Oh my goodness. Happiest moment.
Oh, we're just gonna skip past.
I'm gonna skip that one for sure. Happiest moment. Okay. The happiest moment for me on this podcast was the episode with your mom.
Oh, Mom. Did you hear that, Mom? Because I know you're listening.
He's trying to earn brownie points.
No.
He really is.
The reason is, I'll tell you the reason, because I get to have conversations like that with my mom all the time.
Oh, so just
right?
to be able to...
So it was something that, like, I was able to say, hey, take the opportunity and have the conversation. Mm-hmm. And now it's documented forever, so no matter what, you can always go back to it.
You're like, ha, Mom, I said that. You said this.
Right? But
there's no going back.
But not even that. But it's just like, I don't know. I get to have those conversations with my mom all the time.
I know you do.
And so I was like, take the opportunity. So I think for me, just sitting back on that episode and just being like, yeah, you got to have that opportunity. So that's my happiest moment.
Okay. How has the podcast inspired you?
It's inspired me to always thrive to do better, and always look for little improvements over the course of the 100 episodes. We've made little improvements here and there, whether it be equipment wise, whether it be just having a meeting between the two of us and just really dissecting how an episode went down and what we felt didn't work and what we think we could do better. So yeah.
Life lessons.
Life lessons, yeah.
Do you have any regrets?
Yeah.
Ooh, I'm ready. I'm ready. Let's go. Let me hear this.
I think in some of our earlier episodes, I was a little bitter towards.
Oh Lord, here we
yeah,
go.
Ooh,
yeah.
bitter towards what?
I was a little bitter towards the ex.
Ooh.
So I think that I probably should have handled that a little better. But yeah.
Listen, you spoke your truth at the time. What's wrong with that?
I mean, I don't regret anything I said. I just don't think this was the platform to say it.
Okay, fair enough.
It.
Fair enough.
I didn't say anything like. I didn't say anything really outlandish,
No.
but I just think that it just
Wasn't the right platform.
wasn't
Fair
the
enough.
platform for
That's fine. Fair
Yeah.
enough.
Do you feel you have evolved as a person working on this podcast?
Have you went from a caterpillar to a beautiful butterfly?
I think yes, because I took a lot of this podcast was a part of me during my process of becoming a better man. And
This was your
taking on-
baby.
Well, not even that. It's just I was doing a lot of things outside of this to make myself a better person, and mental health was just getting an understanding. Even though I don't have any mental health like issues or
It was a
symptoms
stepping
and
stone to
just
broadening.
understanding, but even just understanding what other people, the steps other people have to go through. So when I hear someone that says I have to wake up every day and follow this regimen in order to make sure that I am okay in my life
and thrive.
Well, when I hear someone say that, I'm like, you know what? Well, what can I take from that person's experience and apply that to my life to help me focus and make myself better? Because if it's working for this person,
It has to work.
it has to work
anybody.
For me. It has to work for anybody. It has
Yeah.
to work for me. It has to work for anybody. And a lot of the things that like the professionals that have been on this podcast have spoken about have always been based around taking responsibility for yourself.
Which is key.
Which is key. And having a willingness to accept help and make a change.
Yeah.
So I used all those things to kind of
Move forward.
Yeah.
Fair.
So this was kind of like this kind of podcast kind of went along with that journey.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's a stepping stone in your journey.
Yeah.
A lot of people think being a stepping stone or the word stepping stone is terrible, but it's not. It's not terrible at all. Like it's life. Like you're on a path. You gotta step on some stones.
Well, you got nothing happens overnight,
You
right?
gotta step on some stones.
Like, okay, do you remember? Okay, I don't know if you're gonna remember this. I don't know if it's I don't know if this is one of our earlier episodes, Onika, but I asked you what you wanted like 2 years ago. I don't know if it was 2 years, 2.5 years ago. And you said you wanted to be a mental health advocate working in the community and helping people. Like, you said that to me. Like, you said that to me.
Yeah, I remember.
And I was like, okay, well, let's make that happen. And we kind of like worked backwards and kind of did this, and this kind of platform kind of propelled you into being able to like be in other places and other areas. So it's
Yeah.
kind of like, isn't that kind of a really cool thing to look back at now?
Yeah, I've gotten so many opportunities from this podcast, and it's been tough. Like we've had tough moments.
Oh, yeah, I haven't wanted to see you some weeks.
Oh
You
my
guys
gosh,
are an
that's
old
the-
married couple.
That's the next question.
Oh,
That's
okay,
the-
okay.
Hold on, that's
even-
the next question.
but,
Hold
but
on,
this
hold
is
on.
like, did you guys not know you're an old married couple?
What was the best thing and worst thing about working with me?
I feel like I already
The
know
best
this.
thing is that I've connected with a family member, and I feel that like we're tight now. Like
Yeah,
we're
for
like
sure.
we're tight for sure. Like
For sure.
the worst thing is
That laundry list of bad things.
I love it. I love it because
Like,
I'm
your-
here to verify.
like
Do
okay,
you realize this? Like,
okay. I'm gonna give you 3. These are not in any particular order.
Top three.
They're in no particular order.
Okay.
Do top five, though.
Top five.
I could probably think of 5. Okay, let's do 5. Why not? Okay.
Why not?
Okay.
We're gonna shit on Onika today. Let's do
Here's
it.
one. Okay, there was one event where honestly I had worked a night and I was like, okay, Onika, we're gonna record at like 6 o'clock. And
gonna
Onika,
hammer this
normally I'm a happy-go-lucky person. You show up at my place early, like no big deal, right? But on this occasion, I had worked the night before.
Yes.
It's like 6 o'clock. Onika shows up at my place at 4 o'clock. She's ringing my
Ooh.
phone. She's ringing the phone.
I remember this.
I'm not
I-
answering. I don't know. My
I-
phone was on silent, so I didn't answer. Then all of a sudden, she starts banging on my door,
Mm-hmm.
and I lost it. Like I woke up and I lost it, like because I didn't know who it was, and I just like
Who you
lost
telling?
it.
Who you telling?
And
I get phone calls.
I'm like, it's like I don't owe nobody no money. Like I'm not expecting no deliveries. Like, who is banging on
I
my
ain't got
door
no,
right
I
now?
ain't got no ex. I ain't got no churn.
That's what I'm saying.
I ain't commit no crimes. Like,
Nothing. Nothing.
Like who banging on my door like they the police?
Like there's a bellman downstairs to make sure nobody gets in. No, there's not. But like, so that was one. 2, I don't know. It's just I've noticed all your bad habits, and it made me realize one of the biggest mistakes I made in my life was my own fault. And that was one of the. You don't say a word.
I'm not saying shit. I'm not saying
Ooh.
nothing.
Oh, when these mics cut off, I'm no.
And it makes me realize.
Sorry, world.
Okay, what's another one? Number 3. It's not in any particular order. Bad things, worst things, worst things. Honestly, having to edit this thing and having sometimes when you like send me the description, it's like
Weird.
like I used to read sometimes
Weird.
I used to read the descriptions and I'd be like, I'm not posting this. This one needs to fix it. And eventually I got to the point where I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna post it. I don't care. But then, then it got to the point where you started sending me the description. Like, I would automate the uploading of I automate the release of the podcast, so it gets released at like 5 to 10 around that time every Wednesday.
Okay.
But I set that like up on like maybe Monday night, Sunday night, Sunday afternoon.
Yeah.
So when she decides to send me the episode description
On, like, Tuesday
on
night.
Tuesday, it's like, what are you doing? Like, what are you doing? What are you doing with your life?
I can't pre-plan this.
Yeah,
I just
like,
input your words.
Why are you messing with my system?
Come on.
So that's another one.
Don't do me. Don't. Please.
Oh, drinking the juice out of my fridge?
Like straight out the bottle?
No, just taking the juice out of my fridge and drinking
Oh.
it. Yeah, like she lives.
Oh,
there.
she does that. Yeah, listen. You know what she likes to say? You know what she likes to say at our house? It's visitor juice.
It's vacation juice.
It's vacation juice.
It's
Vacation juice. So it's a free for all apparently.
Oh, okay.
Vacation juice.
Yeah, I can't think of anything else. So let's move on.
Okay. That was a very robust
I could,
list.
but I could confirm each and every one of those things on that list. So don't ever deny it.
That was a robust list. I'm like in shock. What message would you give Bianca now that she's taking over?
And I want the raw, real truth. know how we do.
I would just say be firm with your deadlines.
Oh, okay.
That's the only thing.
Ugh.
Be firm with it, and pick a
I wish you guys could see my face.
and pick a consistent day to record. That's the one thing that I found that we were able to be successful by doing was picking a consistent day and saying this is our day.
Listen, Mama said if it ain't broke, don't fix it. So
Yes.
I ain't
Yeah.
streaming off.
Pick a consistent day, and because we always did I don't want to disclose the day we do, but with this specific day, this
Yes,
night,
of course.
we do every week at the same location, same time. You know, and I found
I
that
got
works,
you.
and yeah,
Yeah.
that'd be my best case. And also,
If you know this girl like I know this girl,
I guess just if I don't know, that's it. Yeah, that's all. I don't.
I
That's
feel
it.
like you had something else there.
listen,
it
you're a
was- it was-
handful.
No, it was more on the lines of when you're bringing the guests on, let her vet the guests,
Oh yeah, no, I have.
and then ask questions in pre-production to generate your questions. That's how it's always. I guess it worked best for us because that way, one person doesn't know the story, and the you're hearing it. You're hearing it the first time.
I will be hearing it for the first
Yeah,
time
okay.
every
Anyway.
time, so I hear you.
There you go. Anyway,
Okay.
that's it.
What was your experience like as a co-host on the podcast?
Cool.
That's it. Just one word. Cool.
I mean,
What are you, a millennial?
I actually am, but it was
Not these new ones.
it. Generation Z's. I'm not.
Yeah, like, are you
I'm not one of
Generation
those.
Z?
I'm not one of those.
So, good. Let's elaborate.
No, it was super neat. I mean, I got to play around with a lot of gear and toys that I enjoy. I got to talk with my cousin. I got to find out about information about a topic that I'm interested in, but I didn't know much about.
Fair.
It was a unique experience. I mean, I feel like I did the equivalent of, an undergraduate level of coursework just by talking, like a class, like an undergraduate level
Yeah.
class, like
The real
like-
deal, real
like,
life.
I feel like it was like
not
a
straight
second
out of a
year
textbook.
class. Like I feel like it was like I did like a second year,
Like a
Not
Co-op?
even a third or fourth?
A placement.
Would you say this was like a seminar?
A
I would
seminar.
say it was a seminar.
Seminar level?
I would say seminar level at least.
Really? Okay. Well, then I would say that between the research that I had to do in order to be able to be knowledgeable enough to speak during
That's
the
like a
podcast,
co-op.
so maybe I did I did like 3 years of an undergrad.
Oh
Okay.
wow,
Yeah.
that's
Fair
deep.
enough. That's
So,
deep.
but
No, just in the
No, but-
major course.
So,
Like that's like
so
six,
are
that's
you
like
I
credits.
think-
Are you telling me by the time we get to 200 that I'm gonna take an undergrad too? Mama would be proud of me.
I don't know if you're that intelligent.
Oh,
Oh, harsh.
but, you left that open. Come on.
I did.
If
I
only
did.
people knew the last time Bianca
I
came
did.
over, like Bianca walked in the door and started.
I
firing
came
shots.
came
I came
in
hostile.
hot.
I came in
Came
real
in
hostile.
hot.
Listen.
On the flip side,
I've been told that my mouth is muy caliente, and
Muy
honestly,
caliente. Muy
I'm sorry.
caliente.
I came in hot because I knew he was gonna come hot, and I wanted to beat the flame before it came. That's all I'm trying to say.
Yeah, you were so hot. I had no idea what was happening.
yeah,
Look,
no.
I remember looking at Onika and I'm like,
Yo,
what did I do?
Yo, because I always come in meek and mild, but like, you know what? Like,
Yeah,
I
you
need to
always,
put a
like,
pep in my
slide in.
step. I need to put a pep in my step. So I came in hot. I came in.
on the flip side, what was it like being a producer? Because you played both roles. You were the co-host.
Okay,
and
so
you were
that
the
was
producer.
absolutely fun. That was like the thing I'm gonna miss. Actually, I'm probably gonna miss that the most.
You're the one producing the most.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, thank you for making me,
Like
happy
editing,
about
engineering, producing. I'm gonna miss that the most. That absolutely, no question. That's what I'm gonna miss the most. I think that, yeah,
For sure.
yeah, because that was a passion. I got to tick off something in my bucket list.
True. You hosted
Well, the hosting wasn't the big deal.
Hosted or
Like, no, the
produced,
producing
sorry.
and the engineering part was the part that like that was
a
like
podcast.
that was like I got to do that for 2 years. That's like, and that was like I was in the room when it was created. We did that. That was cool. Like that was
Yeah.
everything from scratch, start to finish. Yeah. So yeah.
What advice would you give someone who wants to start a podcast?
Just do it.
Just do it.
not to be confused with the popular brand that says that, because he said it just like how they would.
Oh, okay. Well, then I would say, the barrier to entry, the cost and barrier to entry is very, very, very small. I would say get the best equipment that you can with whatever budget that you have, and
Just
be passionate about whatever it is you're talking about, and go for it. And if it doesn't work the first time, wrap it up, take some time off, regroup, start it all over again. Think of a new concept. And keep going until you find something that works.
I think that was the best definition of money can't buy you happiness. Like, work with what you got. And you could be happy.
I mean, don't get me wrong. Money can buy a little happiness.
Of course. But I'm just saying, like, you know when they say it, and you're like, like, no, like, that's what I took from that. You could start your own happiness with anything.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you can start your podcast with next to nothing. I mean, all you need is a laptop and a couple mics. I mean, you can we've graduated to a little bit more as we've had time, but like, and more experience. But yeah, that's all you need. It's pretty cool.
All right, final question. What is your final piece of advice for me? Like right now. I know you'll have more 2 cents to put in later, but what's your final piece of advice to me right now?
Is it 2 cents if it's fair knowledge?
Remember the goal that you said to me that you wanted to accomplish. You don't have to say it out loud. We both know what it is.
Mm-hmm.
Don't forget it. And keep going.
Keep on trucking.
Well, JR, it's been a slice. I know you're going to be back on episodes in the future, but it's going to be different now that you're not my co-host / producer anymore.
Hey, I'm still here for you.
I know you are, Bianca, but I'm trying to have a moment with JR. Can you just do me? Thank you. Okay. You know, I appreciate everything you've done for me for the last 2 years, all the knowledge that you've imparted and wisdom. I can actually set up this equipment on my own, shockingly enough.
That was cool, eh?
I let Bianca do it today, but I did it on Saturday.
Episode 100,
enough.
Right?
That was episode 100.
So we recorded.
Tim.
So technically, this is episode 100.
Technically, but
we're airing it 99.
Airing it at 99.
Yeah.
So this is episode 100 that we have taped. So yeah, I just appreciate you, man, and I appreciate everything you've done for me. And you know, the podcast is just going to keep going forward in a direction that I think is going to be completely just positive, and we're going to spread the knowledge and spread the awareness, and we're going to keep going. And if I need your advice, I know your number. I know where you live.
Absolutely.
She'll come banging on your door at 4 o'clock in the morning.
4 o'clock in the morning. But JR, one more time, for one last time, could you sign us off, please?
Oh,
absolutely. Okay, but before I do it, I have to read one shout-out that was in our email that was in there from a couple weeks ago that I didn't have a chance to share with us. It's from
please share.
Maxine Davison. Hi, Onika, heard you on the radio this month. Great job. So proud of you. Keep it up. Auntie Maxine.
Oh my gosh. Auntie Max.
So I forgot that one.
Oh my gosh.
That came through. But yeah, so thank you so much. So if you want to email us, definitely email us at dysh, dysh, at daintydysh.com. That's DAINTYDYSH.com. If you're listening to us on Apple Podcasts,
give us 5.
Thank you so much. If you're listening to us on any other platform, YouTube, SoundCloud, I don't know, all the other ones, your favorite podcast platform, thank you so much for the support. It's been a pleasure to chat with you guys on a weekly basis from me. Thank you, Onika, for this wonderful journey and giving me this opportunity. I truly appreciate it. Thank you so much. Bianca, I wish you all the best. Thank you so much for joining the team, because I'm not leaving the team. I'm just going to be supporting.
You're just extending the team.
We're extending the team.
To your favorite little cousin.
Yeah, well, maybe.
I got replaced.
Maybe. You never know. We don't talk favorites. But yeah, thank you so much for joining the team. And that's it for me.
That has been the dish of the day, and I hope you guys have yourselves a very, very, very happy hump day.